Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing out there? It's your boy, the real E-Leezy, man. It's Monday, fun day. Excuse me. Let's get it. Let's get it. I hope everybody had a blessed weekend. Safe, filled with joy, relaxation, laughter. But let's dive into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's dive into it. We start the NBA Finals on Thursday, I do believe. NBA Finals 2024 NBA Finals between the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. But I'm starting to notice G242 Mars, salute, good morning, brother. How you doing? What's happening with you, Cuddy? Hey, it's a lot of media puppets out there, and let me explain what I mean when I say media puppets. And I've been quoted to use this phrase and this term a lot as far as media puppets, but a media puppet is somebody who goes along with what the media is spewing. So if the media is promoting a certain player or a certain guy, it's like all of a sudden that guy is supposed to be, the hottest thing, like, you know what I'm saying, the best thing ever. So this is what we're seeing with Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing this with Luka and Kyrie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the last time I checked with Kyrie doing anything significant in any playoffs was 2016. That's it. 2016 was the last time we seen Kyrie Irving doing anything significant to help his ball club win a chip, and we even know why they won that chip. You know what I'm saying? We even know why they won that chip. So let's do a correlation. Let's do a comparison. Who do they compare Luka Doncic to? There's a couple of players. They say he's the Euro James Harden. And then we say he's the Euro LeBron James. Dominates the ball, can score, you know what I'm saying? Can pass, but plays no defense. So we make that correlation right there to Luka Doncic, LeBron. The last time Kyrie won an NBA championship, it was with one LeBron James, and we seen how that we seen how that matriculated. We seen how that came about. There were a lot of unforeseen circumstances that played out in the NBA Finals, which allowed Cleveland to complete, the best comeback in NBA history, what they want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Because we never seen a team come down from 3-1 in any, in a finals to win a finals. So, with that being said, we have to pay attention to the correlations. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay attention to the correlations. Salute, Aaron. Salute. The correlation between Luka Doncic and LeBron James is one Kyrie Irving. Let's just call it what it is. It's one Kyrie Irving, bro. Luka can't shine and do what he does and look like the best player if it's not Kyrie right there helping him lead that charge. And Kyrie can do what he does and get back to an NBA Finals if it's not one Luka Doncic. So you see how that's working? I'm not taking nothing away from their offensive greatness. It's an offensive league. They're both skilled and talented at what they do from an offensive standpoint. I just don't believe that they're the best team in the Western Conference. It just was unforeseen circumstances that happened. I thought OKC was better, but they're not ready for OKC to be the face. You have to understand when the NBA chooses somebody, they're gonna follow that team throughout the whole season. They're gonna make sure they're in the spotlight for the whole season, and they're gonna make sure that they get to wherever they need to go. You know what I'm saying? They've been pumping up Dallas Mavericks all season, y'all. All season they've been pumping up Dallas. They had most of all the televised games. We didn't get to see Ant-Man and OKC in a nationally televised situation like that. Think about it. It was the Clippers, it was Dallas. It was the Clippers, it was Dallas. It was Denver. Denver, Dallas, and the Clippers. And the Lakers got most of all of the televised games. So you would have thought that out of those four teams, and the Warriors, obviously. But we already knew that the Warriors wasn't doing shit. So you have to look at the totality of this situation. They were already pumping up and they were choosing, okay, boom, who we want. Okay, this is a perfect time where we can get these matchups that we want, and we can sit there and make sure that Dallas has a road to the NBA Finals that's easy. See, but then people say, oh, they beat 350-win teams. Okay, let's break it down. LA Clippers still playing inside the crypto arena. They wasn't allowed. They wasn't ready for the LA Clippers to be the face at that particular moment. You see what I'm saying? And then all these injuries and stuff start happening, weird things in the locker room, and players being disgruntled about playing time and lineups and all of this stuff. All that stuff started coming out. Then they start talking about the Paul George contract. While they're about to play a playoff series, they start talking about Ty Lue's contract. It was all these other questions. They already solidified Kawhi, and then people had an issue with that. One Paul George felt like, man, you should sign me too, to an extension. So that's already a distraction. They're not letting that team win no chip. That's a huge distraction. And all this after, okay, let's rewind it. Go back to the middle of the season, All-Star break. They say, okay, there was a situation with Grant Williams and Luka Doncic. So all of a sudden now we got to move Grant Williams. See, Grant Williams is the common denominator in this finals. Grant Williams is the common denominator in this finals. Went to the finals with Boston. Helped Boston get to that finals. To be honest with you, Grant Williams played a significant role in that run that season. Then he gets traded in the offseason to Dallas Mavericks. So we're like, oh, they traded Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, and Grant Williams. Three players that was significant in their run that year. You know what I'm saying? They traded him to who? To the Dallas Mavericks. So look, there goes the correlation. All of a sudden now, Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals. The Grant Williams effect. You know what I'm saying? They ended up making a trade. They brought in Daniel Gafford from Washington and PJ Washington from the Charlotte Hornets. And we already know how that's working. Trash ass teams, but two solid players, but nobody was checking for them. You know what I'm saying? But Dallas was able to get them players for a little bit of nothing. They pried those two players for a little bit of nothing while still keeping their core intact. You know what I'm saying? While still keeping their core intact. Salute, Tim. So they brought in those players. So all of a sudden now, Dallas, who was a team who was struggling all season with the same Kyrie Irving, the same Derek Lively, Derrick Jones Jr., Tim Hardaway Jr., J.J. Hardy, Dante Exum, and those guys, the same guys, the Luka Doncic, the same team, pretty much the same players. They were struggling. So you see how all of a sudden that trade catapulted them. And then once they did get in the rhythm, what did they do? Dallas went on a little mini run. You know what I'm saying? They were like the best team, like, you know what I'm saying, down the stretch of that second half of the season. They won so many games, but we looked and said, man, they had a favorable schedule, which is true. Dallas had a favorable schedule. They played a lot of teams that was below 500. And, I mean, you play who's on your schedule. You know what I'm saying? So you give them credit. They beat those teams. They put themselves in a position, you know what I'm saying, to be right in the middle of the pack. When they finished the season as a 5 seed, right? How many times do you see 5 seeds advance and go to the NBA Finals? We've seen an 8 seed go last year. They looked at like NCAA Cinderella team, but then they got smacked in the finals. They said, oh, we forgot how to play basketball. So now they was allowed to promote Nikola Jokic, the Joker. They was allowed to promote him easy and make him look like he was the motherfucking, like, you know what I'm saying, all world, like nobody could stop him until this year, which I told everybody last year they won't win another one. Just like I told them again, I always bring it back. Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, they won't win another one. You have to understand how the NBA is promoting these European players. And it's not hate, it's just the facts. Because they're great offensive talents. Some of them still have a lot of deficiencies, though. But this is a time to where you can market them because the NBA is in transition. They're in limbo. They don't know. They're struggling to promote these games. The marketability is starting to hurt because of the European players. And it's a lot of hype. Now it's a lot of hype around Victor Wembanyama. So he's next. He's next. You know what I'm saying? Because the same teams are going to go every year. Every year or every other year, you're going to see the same teams go. Denver was chosen. Milwaukee was chosen. That's it. But the same teams get to the championship, you know what I'm saying, and dominate the league every year. It's either Boston, Lakers, Warriors, San Antonio, you know what I'm saying? Now Dallas have been to 3 finals. So they're 1-2 in the NBA finals. Or not 1-2, excuse me, 1-1, with the third one coming right now. So we'll see how that plays out. You see what I'm saying? Miami Heat, the Heat. It's only certain teams that go to the finals, bro. So you can pick out of those teams and you can figure out who's going to go to the finals next year. Detroit's not ready yet, even though they've been a team to go to a lot of NBA finals. We've seen Phoenix Suns go. We've seen Milwaukee go, but they're not a team that is used to being in the NBA finals. They had a couple of finals appearances back in the day, yeah, and then every so often they're chosen. Portland is going to get back to that stage, you know what I'm saying, at some point. So we got to understand how this shit works, bro. This is how the NBA works. So you had to trade mid-season, Dallas Mavericks, got those 2 pieces, and then all of a sudden they made a run. Boop. Let's go back. Now we're here. First round, we've seen how the distractions and everything that I mentioned with the Clippers played a part. So now the Clippers go to the finals. Clippers go to the playoffs as a number, 4 seed? So they got home court. Everybody's looking at the Clippers like, oh, what's up with Kawhi? All of a sudden, at the end of the season, Kawhi comes down with this knee injury. And it was weird because the timing of the injury, it's like, oh my God. So anyway, I still said the Clippers can beat Dallas without Kawhi Leonard. They're that good where they can still beat them. They're going to cause a lot of problems, mismatch problems, right? So what happens? we see that first game, the Clippers smoked them out of the building. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, the second game, they forgot how to play basketball. And then all of a sudden, Dallas wins that game. And then the third game, they lost. Weird again. It's just like they just forgot totally how to play 2 games in a row after they smacked Dallas by like 40, 30 something. It was a bad loss for Dallas in the playoffs. This is how you know the NBA is so fucking scripted and set up. How do you lose that bad when you're a championship caliber team like everybody say the Mavericks are, but you get blasted by 30 something and looked it really, really bad? There's not too many adjustments that you can make when you get smoked by 30 something. You would think, okay, if we got smoked by 30 something, if we just play a little bit harder, man, we'll probably lose like around like 10. But they ended up winning 2 games in a row after that. Gave them a 2-1 lead. Game 4, Dallas forgot how to play basketball again. Was getting smacked again by 30-some points. And what happens? All of a sudden, they start coming back. So the Clippers figured out how to play basketball after 2 terrible games, after they smoked them by 30-some, and all this is without Kawhi Leonard. And that's what I say. I know the Clippers are better than Dallas without Kawhi Leonard. I already know. But it's all on how the NBA works. So all of a sudden, and this is in the midst of the Kawhi injury, the contract talks with the Paul George, the contract situation with the head coach. So the Clippers are doing this in the midst of some chaos, the PJ Tucker thing. And all of a sudden, PJ Tucker ain't played all season since he was moved to the Clippers. He came out and started complaining. And then all of a sudden, the Clippers start playing PJ Tucker in the playoffs when PJ Tucker has had no rhythm. He's not in shape. He's turning down wide open corner threes, which we know he's known for taking and making at a high clip. And he's not playing defense, which he's known for doing that. So you see how all of that led to the debacle and the demise of the LA Clippers against the Dallas Mavericks? But people will say, oh man, Dallas smoked the Clippers. No, the Clippers just took a dive. That happens. Teams take dives and play uncharacteristically bad because of certain things. We don't have to get into them, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows. Let's just keep it a buck. Everybody knows. There are certain things that happen. Oh. There are certain things that happen. And we've seen it unfold where it was like, man, why are the Clippers playing like this, y'all? They just start playing weird. And he was like, what the hell is going on? So just call it what it is. So then all of a sudden now they're in a situation, and look, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic didn't have great series. They had a couple of games here and there, but they really didn't have great series like that. You see what I'm saying? They didn't have great series. They were struggling. You had Terrence Mann, Paul George, and James Harden, you know what I'm saying, who played defense somewhat, but not a lot. He played defense somewhat, but not a lot. He even like reverted back to the old James Harden and seeing that man try to give a little bit of effort, but then reverted back to the James Harden that was in Houston, who gave no damn effort on defense. So it was a mix of weird shit happening. They was guarding Luka so physical, getting over the screens, putting size, length, physicality on him, and Luka couldn't do anything. And he would come out in a post-game presser and say, well, I've got to help Kyrie. I played bad. I got to help Kyrie. He's even telling you he's shit water. You know what I'm saying? Not playing no defense. Derrick Jones Jr., P.J. Washington, Daniel Gabbert, those guys are playing their asses off on defense. Luka is just doing exactly what the Joker do. Oh man, when every time it's a switch, just let him go by him. I'm like, wow, okay. Okay, so you ain't gonna get no effort, huh? But you gonna have these other dudes protecting you. So you get to just sit there and play like a little free zone while the other players, and then the offenses that they play, look at how the Clippers start playing their offense. Dribble, 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 step back. I'm like, that y'all didn't do that in the first 3 games. The ball was moving. You put the ball inside to Ibaka Zubac. Zubac was murdering Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford down low. Let's not act like Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively Jr. are like the end-all be-all when it comes to big men. Can we stop this? Come on, man. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, y'all? Since when did Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford become the best twin towers the game has ever seen? The Clippers literally just gave up and stopped because we seen what was going to happen. They were going to beat Dallas, but they was like, you know what? That wouldn't be good. We got to find a way to get Luka to the NBA Finals. So we seen what happens. They beat the Clippers. The Clippers literally gave up, stopped playing, and then came out in the post-game presser and then said all this stupid shit that nobody was. We seen what happened, bro. Like, we got to get rid of some of them players. They're not invested. They gave up. They playing to the bullshit. Boom. So now we advance to the second round. You get the OKC Thunder, who played an injured New Orleans team in the first round, swept them, get them out of here. OKC, number 1 seed, another 50-win team, number 1 seed. Everybody is looking at this OKC team like, man, I don't know, bro. This OKC team ain't ready. They just beat up on an injured Pelicans team, and everybody feel like if it was Zion playing, the Pelicans probably would have went and played against Dallas. And I think that the Pelicans probably would have beat motherfucking Dallas Mavericks because of their size, their length, you know what I'm saying? And they also pose some problems too. You feel me? But they didn't win, and OKC won. So I'm like, well, shit, I think OKC can beat Dallas too. If you think about it, they got size, defenders, they got who should have been the MVP of the damn league is Shea. He was snubbed. And then we seen how that series played out, right? OKC comes out and wins the first game, then loses the second game. Sort of similar, right? They lose the second game. And OKC has been good, responding to losses and winning at home. And then all of a sudden now, OKC forgets how to play basketball. You would think, because OKC blew Dallas out. And they made it tough on who? On Luka and Kyrie. Made it tough. They didn't have a good series, and guess what? OKC did all this without no real big man. Right? OKC did this without no real big man. Chet Holmgren, 7-footer, but he loves to play on the perimeter, and he's too limbo. He's too small. Like, he hasn't got to the point to where he knows, to use his strength, his grown man strength. He has to get in the weight room and get stronger. But there's only so much that he can do. If he gets too big, top heavy, then shit, he's gonna move a little slower. That's not good for his ankles, his ligaments. So you have to be careful with that. Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively Jr., they did okay, but they weren't dominant. P.J. Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. was really the ones to help them get over that hump. P.J. Washington averaged about 20-something points in that series, or close to 20. About 18, 19 on efficient shooting from the three, because they left him wide open. They said, we're going to shut Kyrie Irving and Luka down, and then we're just going to allow Derrick Jones Jr. a good Oklahoma City call for a lot of fouls. We seen him get called for a lot of fouls that put Dallas at the free throw line in a lot of those games. And then other times we seen their offense kind of go on spurts to where they couldn't score. Oklahoma City we're talking about. But Oklahoma City was still they were still resilient. So Oklahoma City came back. They win game 1, lose game 2, lose game 3. Then he come back and win game 4, and then you would think, oh, we got home court advantage again. And then come back and lose. Or did they come back and win? They came back and win, and then went back home and lost, and then they went to Dallas for game 7. And we seen how that played out. Come on, man. We seen how that played out. So Dallas played an injured Clippers team who was in disarray, who showed that they can beat Dallas without Kawhi. They beat them. Then they come and beat a young, inexperienced Oklahoma City team, young and inexperienced, with no real big. And that went game 7, and we seen how that played out. They should have lost that series, but they didn't. They advanced. Now we get to the Western Conference Finals, and we like, man, this Minnesota Timberwolves team, they for sure about to win. They got some veterans, they got players who've been there, and then they got some young guys who haven't been there. So we're looking at it and like, damn, they got size, they got skill at every position, they got really good defenders. They got a veteran point guard who's been in these type of situations. Cat has been around and been in these type of situations. The only players that haven't been around and been in these type of situations is Ant-Man and Jaden McDaniels. And we've seen how that, who was one of the best clutch players and best scoring guards that we for years, even in the bubble when him and Donovan Mitchell was going head to head, dropping 50 balls. We've seen the same Jamal Murray who was cooking the Clippers in the bubble. We've seen the same Jamal Murray who came back from that torn ACL and helped the Joker win a championship and was cooking the Lakers, cooking everybody. All of a sudden now, we see Jamal Murray get locked down and the Joker get locked down. Even though the Joker had games where he was getting his numbers, but it was tough on him. They would shut him down for 3 or 4, 5 possessions in a row. So they beat the NBA champions, Minnesota. We like, oh, Minnesota for sure coming out the West. But the 2 factors which allowed them not to come out the West, Jaden McDaniels, who was in foul trouble every game, and then Ant-Man. So all of a sudden now, you look like a team that's unstoppable to going up against a Dallas team who looked beatable in those previous 2 series. Now all of a sudden Minnesota forgot how to play basketball. It don't even make no sense. So now all of a sudden Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving can look so good. When they struggled in the 2 previous series, all of a sudden now they look, man, like, oh, they're unstoppable. They got Luka and Kyrie. And even the commentators was pumping them up. They wasn't pumping them up in the previous 2 series when they were struggling. I didn't hear them talking about no motherfucking Kyrie Irving and no Luka Doncic then. So all of a sudden against the Minnesota team, now they talking about Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. They were allowed to do whatever they wanted to do, get whatever shot they wanted to get against a team that was far better than the two previous teams they played defensively, in my opinion, and had just as much offensive talent, if not more, than those two previous teams that I mentioned. So now Minnesota, who was out here blowing the doors off of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, blowing the doors off of motherfucking Aaron Gordon, KCP, Nikola Jokic, and Jamal Murray, all of a sudden don't know how to play basketball against a player who don't even play defense, and then another player who's undersized on defense. Make it make sense. So fast forward, now you get a gentleman's sweep. Mind you, Minnesota had double-digit leads in mostly all of those games that they played at some point, at least at home. Minnesota clearly showed you they were a better team than Dallas. What happens? The NBA happens. Dallas advances to their third NBA Finals. So now you have a Boston Celtics team who had a cakewalk to the NBA Finals because they played all these teams that were injured. And mind you, I didn't even mention that Luka was supposed to have 10 injuries. They literally said Luka had 10 injuries. Both of his knees, his foot, his ankle, his shoulder. They named off hella injuries to give him to make it seem like, oh, he's just like the next coming of Willis Reed. I'm like, no, he's soft too. He cries about every fucking call on every play, whether they're winning or losing. He's a crybaby. And he plays no defense. That's who y'all want to promote as the best player in the league? Get out of here. I'm not buying that. We don't promote those type of players in the NBA. Y'all niggas can be bamboozled too, not I. He's a good offensive talent. I'm not taking that away from him. But as far as all that other shit, bro, I don't respect the integrity of the game. The integrity of the game is shot because you got niggas who cry like girls all day. That's it. Crybabies on the hoop court. LeBron James is another one. Always complaining to the ref. Go play the game, bro. It's going to be physical. The refs are going to miss a call. You can't get every single call, bro, when you do a lot of things that go uncalled too. It's just, come on, man. It's the nature of the damn game. Stop trying to change the game to benefit you because you feel like the league owes you something. Stop. That's pushy shit, bro. That's not how the game is played. So now we get Boston, we get Dallas, and everybody and their mama think Dallas, Kyrie Irving, and Luka Doncic is going to smack Boston. Because you know why? Everybody hates Boston because of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. See, and this is where the media puppets come out. They don't break the game down player for player. You know what I'm saying? They always come up with a reason why this and a reason why that because they're biased. Nobody was talking about Dallas was going to win nothing in the regular season. Nobody even thought that Dallas would get to the NBA Finals, bro. Nobody even thought that Dallas would win the first round, bro. Except for Dallas Maverick fans. And people that don't like the Clippers. And then, of course, you're going to pick against OKC because you feel like OKC is young. And then, of course, you're going to pick against motherfucking Minnesota because you feel like Ant-Man is young. Karl-Anthony Towns have failed miserably. Rudy Gobert is trash, should not be Defensive Player of the Year. Let's just call it what it is. I got to keep it a buck. Of course, now everybody want to hop on this Dallas train, and everybody has Dallas convincingly beating Boston. So the script has already been exposed, I guess. So now all of a sudden Dallas is just this good? So Boston don't get no credit for being an experienced ball club who battled adversity and came back from smoking a season last year and allowed Miami Heat to win, to all of a sudden now they put Boston back in the finals to lose when they're going for banner number 18. And they got one of the best two young duos in the NBA with a lot of veteran players who have won before, experienced players that have played for championship level coaches and environments. All of a sudden now, Dallas is the team that everybody is supposed to be scared of because of Luka and Kyrie. Can somebody tell me how many times have Kyrie Irving led his team as the leader of his team, not a Robin to somebody's Batman? How many times have Kyrie Irving been that dude to lead a franchise to glory? We know how great Kyrie Irving really is offensively. But how many times? I just want to know, other than what happened in 2016, how many times? I've been watching all the games, bro. All of them. They played who was in front of them. It's not Boston's fault that all them niggas was getting injured. They walked Donovan Mitchell and them down when Donovan Mitchell was playing. They walked them niggas down. Okay, you say he's mature. Yeah, he's gotten older. He's mature because he had to apologize, nigga, to them Jewish people, them rabbis. That's the only real reason Kyrie is even being promoted and looked at in a positive light in the media. Do you understand who controls the media? Do y'all really know if you really want to break the real stuff down, bro? A lot of the media and all this stuff is controlled by Jewish people. What happened when Kyrie was going through his stuff in a bubble and all this and his COVID vaccine and then the showing of that video? I'm just keeping it 100. Kyrie ain't never led nobody though. We have to understand how this shit works. So all of a sudden now, Kyrie is that dude. So everybody, and I love Kyrie. I love what he stands for. But let's call a spade a spade. Kyrie still has flaws too. Like, you know what I'm saying? So nobody's giving Boston no credit. Y'all looking at, oh, his left hand. Oh, this and that. I can say Derrick Jones Jr. ain't never did nothing either. Derrick Jones Jr. ain't no championship type player. I can look at P.J. Washington and say P.J. Washington is young and ain't never been in this situation before. I can look at Daniel Gafford and say Daniel Gafford is young and ain't never been in this situation before. Hell, Derek Lively Jr. is a rookie. Derek Lively Jr. is a rookie. Nobody was looking at the Dallas Mavericks like that, bro. Y'all just following what the media is saying. And if you're a Maverick fan, of course you're for your team. But hell, even I knew that the Golden State Warriors was trash. You feel me? Think about this. Lively is a rookie. So you think that a rookie and all these young players are finna go into Boston? The only way they can beat Boston is if the NBA tells Boston to sit down. Boston, we're gonna need you to play bad. You know all them games Boston lost at home, which you thought they would have blown a motherfucker out? We need you to play bad. It's just the hypocrisy and the hate for certain teams and certain players, bro. Y'all don't really keep it 100 and break the game down. Jason Tatum is 6'9", can handle the ball, can shoot, can post up. Now his defense is a little flawed, I must admit, but at times he'll give effort, and that's all you want from your best players. Jaylen Brown, another 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", can shoot, can defend, and can post up. So you mean to tell me that Luka and Kyrie Irving's defense on switches are that superior to where they're going to be able to stop Boston from getting whatever look they want? And you have to understand, Boston's system is just predicated on basketball and reads. There's no system in Boston. They are just reading the game. They just play freely. Oh, if there's a mismatch, they're going to exploit it. That's all they do. They just play free, you know what I'm saying, open court hoop. There is no sets. There is none of that. They make reads based off of the defense. And they play, you know what I'm saying, off of that. There's a lot of motion. And then there's a lot of, oh, you're a better player, go get a bucket. If they come down and double you, kick it out for a 3. So now Al Horford doesn't mean anything, huh? So Al Horford not going to be able to get no rebounds, no block shots. He's not going to be able to hit no threes because Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford are just the best 2 bigs that we've seen in recent years. All of a sudden. Come on, man. Come on, man. Jason Kidd, he coached well. Okay, he coached well. Dallas have ran the same sets all playoffs. Ain't nothing changed for Dallas. The players are just playing hard on defense. That's all you're seeing. And then Luka and Kyrie are just making the right reads. Because you know why? The teams are leaving Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively Jr. wide open for rim runs. Wide open for rim runs. You tell me. Because J. Kidd failed miserably in all his other stops. And he had great teams. He had good enough teams to win, and he failed. So all of a sudden, Jason Kidd is the best coach in the NBA now. Come on, man. Y'all keep saying coaching is really obsolete if you think about it, because the coach of the year got bounced from the damn playoffs. And Chris Finch also got bounced from the playoffs, who was another coach of the year candidate. And Ty Lue, who y'all claim is one of the best coaches in the NBA, got bounced. So all of a sudden, J. Kidd is the best coach in the NBA? What the fuck are we talking about? I guess. I just want y'all to break down the game. So when you see Boston get those switches, when Luka is on an island, they're going to bring 2 people at Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. They are going to have to make the right reads to Derek White, Drew Holiday, Al Horford, and those guys if they want to be successful. It's all about making reads, because Luka and Kyrie is going to need help against Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. We seen what Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum did to Kyrie when Kyrie had one arguably best player in NBA history, Kevin Durant, on his team. Y'all remember that? When they had KD and Kyrie against that Boston team? What happened? They made them boys look like doo-doo water. Kyrie and KD was frustrated. Now, all of a sudden, a couple of years later, oh, I've matured. What that got to do with your basketball game? You might have matured off the court, but I don't understand. So all of a sudden, you turn into this motherfucking Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan type figure in 2 years? What does that mean, he's matured? Nigga, he's already a veteran. He should have been matured. So that's the reason why they gonna win, is because he matured. His game is still the same. What's different about Kyrie's game? Yeah, nigga, you ain't seen the best Kyrie ever we gonna see. I understand, like, all these different things. Oh, he's mature. Oh, he's mature. Huh? Nigga, he's a veteran player in the league. He better be mature. Fuck you mean he matured? Why did he have to mature? Because he played a couple of videos that everybody play? the Tariq Nasheeds of the world, and everybody else on YouTube who play those same videos. You said Kevin Durant isn't Luka. Who's better out of Kevin Durant and Luka in the chat? If y'all say Luka, I'm ending this stream, bro. If y'all niggas tell me that Luka Doncic is better than KD, it's done. And y'all shouldn't. Oh my goodness. Alright. Alright. Okay. You know what, y'all? I appreciate y'all, bro. I hope everybody has a blessed day. I love y'all to death. Y'all some of the most delusional motherfuckers, bro, I ever seen in my life. Oh my goodness. Nigga said Luka was better than KD. Wow. Woo, shit. But you know what? I expected y'all to say that, though. I expected y'all to say that. So you mean to tell me slow-ass Luka? So you mean to tell me Boston ain't gonna be able to lock up Luka? Okay, I got you. I got you. So y'all just saying that Dallas is clearly better than Boston because Boston ain't played nobody. Is that what y'all telling me? But Boston been the best team throughout the whole regular season? Is that what y'all telling me? So you mean to tell me Tatum gonna get locked up by P.J. Washington and Derrick Jones Jr.? So a team that made an in-season trade at the trading deadline is gonna go on and win a championship over a team that's been together longer than them and got 2 all-star players and all NBA players in their own respect? Okay. All right, I got you. So a team that was struggling and they were around the play-in game, all of a sudden avoided the play-in in the last 2 weeks of the season, about to win an NBA championship over a team that already been to the NBA Finals with all NBA talent on their team. Okay, gotcha. All I'm going to say is, I think that Boston is going to give them their matchup. There are a lot of matchup problems for. There are a lot of matchup problems that Boston poses for Dallas. And we're going to watch that, you know what I'm saying, on full display. And if Boston plays the right way, not the Boston that we've seen throughout these playoffs lose some of these games like weird, the way they lost them to teams that was maybe injured or didn't have their best players or all of that. But I'm talking about the real Boston team that's been the best team in the entire playoffs. We're going to see, because for me, it makes no sense for Boston to lose a championship, then lose the Western Conference Finals the way they lost it last year, and then get back to another championship just to lose. Why would they use a franchise like Boston as the franchise to look like losers? Like they have 17 NBA championships. Why would they use Boston as that team? You see what I'm saying? Why would they use Boston as that team to just be losers and keep getting to NBA Finals just so they can lose? I just can't see that happening, bro. Boston has been building a winner from day one, and Danny Ainge is the reason for that. And then they had some key acquisitions through free agency. I thought Derek White was huge for them. I thought Drew Holiday has been huge for them. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in these finals, though. But I just think that Boston poses a little bit of a matchup problem than those 3 teams that Dallas seen in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank. And we'll see how that plays out. You know what I'm saying? But y'all not giving Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, y'all not giving them no credit. And we're going to really find out. And I don't want nobody crying and none of that shit. If Vegas don't intervene in this series is over quick. But we know Vegas is going to intervene because that's just the way the NBA works. They can't have an NBA Finals where it look bad. It has to look entertaining to the public eye. You see what I'm saying? Last year's Finals was terrible. This year's Finals is going to be better just because of the people that's in it. Nobody wanted to see no Denver, Miami. That hurt the game. But now we get to see a better matchup with better players, in my opinion, and we're going to see what happens. But I think Boston should win this series. And if they don't, then we know why. Because they're trying to pump up Luka. But remember, Dirk Nowitzki went to his first finals and lost. Remember that. So, Dirk Nowitzki is still the face of the Dallas Mavericks. Let's let that be clear. Dirk Nowitzki is still the face of the Dallas Mavericks. Luka has a lot of basketball left if he wants to pass one Dirk Nowitzki. Okay? So, I think, in my opinion, Boston wins this series either 4-1 or 4-2. In my opinion. Because Boston is just that good. And I'm not going off of playing these injured teams. I know Boston is that good. And that's all I got to say about that. And we'll see it. But I appreciate everybody. But I just don't want y'all to be media puppets, bro, because you're so in love with your team. It's okay to be honest at some point. Nobody likes being honest with their ball club because they feel like their ball club is getting cheated, all of that. If your ball club really isn't that good, bro, just say that. But you know what? I expect you to support your team, but we can't be delusional. We got to be honest, bro. When it comes to this game, you got to be able to break it down. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to break it down. If y'all don't think, you know what I'm saying, that Al Horford is better than Rudy Gobert offensively and just as good defensively, then you're smoking. You're tripping. Drew Holiday gets no credit for nothing. We're talking about an all-star guard. A defensive player of the year candidate every year. A champion. So his experience and his skill and talent don't account for nothing. That makes no sense to me. How can y'all discredit Boston, bro, when they got talent up and down the board? The only way Dallas win this series is if Boston say, you know what, we're going to let you win. So the only way. We're going to let you shoot wide open jump shots in the NBA Finals. We're going to let you get wide open rim runs in the NBA Finals. That's the only way that Dallas can win the series. Is if the team lets them win. If the team plays hard, game plans the right way, and shuts all that stupid shit down and don't let players shoot wide open shots, it's no way Dallas can win. Period. But we're going to find out on Thursday. But y'all got to stop being media puppets, bro. Dallas is in the NBA Finals by default. It's the only thing that makes sense. Storylines. Kristaps Porzingis. Kyrie Irving. Storylines. Wake up. Pay attention. Salute to all my people, bro. I appreciate y'all. Conquer, I seen all y'all in the building, bro. But y'all gotta stop that Fugazi shit, cuz. But we gonna find out. And we gonna give a clear play-by-play of the NBA Finals and break down the games. We gonna break it down, possession by possession. But I appreciate y'all, bro. Salute to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe. And you already know, man. It's love, live life, smile, cry, and laugh, man. All day, every day. You feel me? Y'all have a blessed day. You feel me? I'll tap in later.